So I'm sure you all heard that 12 UNRWA employees have been accused of working with Hamas. I covered it earlier this week. Now, these allegations prompted many nations, including the UK, to withdraw funding, which is a form of collective punishment on the Palestinian people. Well, it now turns out the story has changed. It's no longer 12 employees, but it's 4. That's quite a drastic change, don't you think? I mean, where did this 12 figure come from in the first place? But not only that, but this Sky News article is incredibly revealing. Israeli intelligence report claims 4 UNRWA staff in Gaza involved in Hamas kidnappings. Sky News has seen Israeli intelligence documents that Israel claims are evidence that staff working for a UN agency were connected with Hamas in Gaza. The report, which has been shared with foreign governments, alleges that 6 employees of the UN Relief and Works Agency for Palestine Refugees, UNRWA, infiltrated Israel. 4 of them were allegedly involved in kidnapping Israelis, while another worker is said to have provided logistic support. But when you read further down the article, this paragraph, it tells you everything. The Israeli intelligence documents make several claims that Sky News has not seen proof of, and many of the claims, even if true, do not directly implicate UNRWA. So the incredible claims from Israel was that UNRWA employees were in cahoots with Hamas, and now that's changed from 12 to 4 employees in a matter of days. Yet there is still no proof that even that is the case. So what does this tell you? Well, we know how much Israel lies. Their propaganda is almost comical, but it shows they are absolutely desperate to come up with anything in order for the West to assist in this genocide. But Israel doesn't even need to do that. They simply just need to tell the allies, this is what we want, this is what we're going to do, and we'll just back them anyway. Think about the hypocrisy of our response. We will back Israel every step of the way. We will defund an aid group which Palestinians rely on to survive off the back of just allegations. Yet when Palestinians tell us they are suffering, facing ethnic cleansing, and genocide, what do? Nothing. Then when evidence is brought to the International Court of Justice, and when that court basically says, Israel, stop doing a genocide, we still don't do anything and actually continue to back Israel, as we've seen pulling our funding for UNRWA. Because the thing to do when there is a genocide happening is to side with the oppressors and stick 2 fingers up at the innocents who are being wiped out. Does that tell you that the UK and many other nations are upstanding nations following the law? No, we're just a bunch of thugs kicking people when they're down. Now, I'm not suggesting that it is definitely BS and that I know 100% UNRWA workers aren't working with Hamas. That's not what I'm saying here. I actually need evidence and won't back a position based on vibes. Clearly, that's what Israel and the West do. No, my issue is how quickly we are to act in favour of an oppressor with no evidence versus a court ruling that is trying to protect Palestinians. Now, Chris Guinness, who's a former spokesperson for the UN, he went on the Owen Jones show, which I recommend you watch, and called this a political conspiracy. Essentially, those who have funded UNRWA over the years have constantly been in contact with them. Guinness said that UNRWA is the most audited organisation in the history of the UN, yet there's never been a problem before. But suddenly now, several nations are pulling their funding. Yet UNRWA hasn't been given the information regarding these rogue employees, and you think they would be given that information, right? I mean, if a company has issues with members of staff, it's not unreasonable to give said company evidence that these members of staff so they can take action. Instead, UNRWA has dismissed 13 employees purely based on allegations because they are taking a zero-tolerance approach. And again, I'm not saying they are innocent, but there has been no evidence provided to them, the media, and likely to our governments. Yet coincidentally, the donors are like, yep, just stop funding it in the middle of what Israel is trying to do. This is a political decision for all participants. And the politics behind it, which may seem overly simplistic, but I'm sorry, it's true, back Israel regardless. Don't piss them off, and choosing to continue funding UNRWA will create tensions between Israel and the UK, the US, and others backing them. Plus, in that Sky article, they say based on these documents, if any of this is true, it in no way implicates UNRWA as an organisation. It's literally a case of just a handful of bad apples. But that's not the story Israel wants to tell. They are trying to say that UNRWA as an organisation is corrupt, works with Hamas. I mean, they've been saying it for years, and now they find the opportunity to attack it as a whole and convince countries to pull its funding. Israel doesn't care if it is in fact just rogue employees rather than the whole organisation being corrupt, because their goal is to kill all Palestinians and take their land. If they're going to do that, they will need multiple different strategies, and one of them is cutting off aid and life support for Palestinians. No matter what evidence comes to light or lack thereof, we are seeing the plan in action, and the fact that we are backing this is absolutely shameful and disgusting from a genocidal supporting government. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like and drop a comment. It's good for the algorithm and I'm interested in what you have to say. If you're not already subscribed, please do and hit the notification bell. You can also support this channel by becoming a member for 99p per month. And if you're feeling a little more generous, then you can support us on Patreon for £3 or £5 per month. This channel for a while has been uploading every single day and it's quite a lot of work that is still voluntary and scheduled around my paid work. Currently, Turn Left makes around £20 a month, but I have so much ambition, expect in the future to see more variety in content, such as interviews and Vox Pops. But I want this to be a fully fledged media organisation where not only is this my full-time job, but to have multiple people working for Turn Left. I like to see a live show in the future, more content that delves into culture, history, and much more, but that can only be done if there's money. So please, if you can, support us in any way that's in your capacity. And thank you to existing members, subscribers, and patrons. See you next time.